Good morning, Cody here from Academy. Today I'm gonna be talking about just a morning routine, something I was taught called horse saddle rider, meaning the priorities of work in the morning. It helps you leave on time and notice problems early, so when you get further down the road, a small problem doesn't turn into a big problem and stop the whole group while you're out exploring. Because the last thing you want is for everybody to be lined up ready to go and you realize, oh crap, something's broken or something needs to be fixed real quick. So horse, saddle, rider. Horse meaning your vehicle, saddle meaning your equipment like your GPS, your maps, your cameras, anything you're going to use on the trip, and then yourself. The rider is you. Oh, wait a minute. You. That's the rider. If you take care of things in that order, you'll be prepared and you're more likely to have a successful trip. So we're going to talk about some of the things you want to check in the morning when you first get up, before you worry about making yourself breakfast, before you worry about, maybe you brush your teeth maybe just because you feel a little better when you brush your teeth. But before you do your full morning routine, you want to check these things because you might catch some problems early that you can get them fixed quickly, or things that might take a little time to get fixed. So you'd rather start them now than delay everybody while you're waiting for a dead battery to charge or some other things, okay? So one of the first things I do in the morning is I look below my vehicle, see if I can see any obvious leaks from the night before. I look to see if I can, if there's anything obviously broken or hanging down from last night's exploring. I do external walk around checking, see if I see any obvious damage I didn't notice. Any obvious leaks from the night. If there's anything obviously broken or hanging down, see if I see any obvious damage I didn't notice. So now I'm going to check my tires, because a lot of times, I've been on trips where people did not realize they had a flat until about 2 minutes before we're leaving, which is not that big of a deal. You just have to stop and change it then. But if you can notice the night before or the morning, you can get all that stuff work done prior to everybody leaving, and you're not the one slowing everybody down. So when you're checking tires, you want to check the outside, obviously, right? Make sure you see no big cuts or any leaks, any sticks sticking out of them. You want to check the tread, make sure you see nothing sticking out of the tread all the way around top and bottom. So tires have two sides, right? The outside and the inside. Sticks and nails and cuts, they can happen on both. So just don't check the outside of the tires. You want to look on the inside, because you can have sticks hanging out. You can have nails, anything on the inside cut. You can actually, one time I had a bulge, like a big bulge that the guy behind me noticed as we were traveling. So you look on both sides of the tire to make sure there's nothing wrong with the sidewalls. You have checked the outside of the vehicle. You've checked all the tires, make sure they're good. You don't see anything hanging down. You look through on your prop shafts and things that are bolted below, and looks like all the bolts are there. You don't see any obvious signs of wear, like things are getting loose or things are getting backed off. Now you want to do something. You want to start the vehicle, make sure it starts. But before you do that, you want to open up the hood to make sure nothing inside looks different than you left it. All right, so once you crack your hood, you're gonna be looking at your belts, your hoses, your fluid levels, and then just a general overall inspection for any missing or loose parts. For your hoses, you wanna make sure there's no bulges, that they're all hooked up. Your belts, they're not frayed or cracked, and then your fluid levels are topped off at the appropriate levels. And then you give a once over to make sure you're not missing anything. Or sometimes animals kind of move in the night. Make sure there's no mice or anything inside your engine bay. Anything that looks like it's not where it used to be. You're looking for things that are not in the right place. Checking your oil and your transmission fluid is a good idea too. My oil, I can check it with a dipstick, but my transmission fluid's sealed, or my transmission is sealed, so I can't check the fluid. I'm looking at the belt though. Make sure all the belts are there. Nowadays, serpentine belts make it kind of easy because it's just one, but some vehicles have multiple belts, so make sure all your belts are there and they don't look like they're breaking. Because sometimes you can maybe catch it in advance and change it out here at camp versus down the road where you already overheated because your water pump stopped pumping because you don't have a belt hooked up to it anymore, if that makes sense. All right, so everything on the hood looks good. There's one last piece of gear you want to check on your vehicle itself before you step off, and that's your roof rack. has a lot of stuff on it, and it can get loose throughout the travels. So you always want to be spot checking it anyway. But I'm gonna make sure my tires secure, my gas can's still secure, my road shower's still on there, all the crap is still fit. All the junk is still where it used to be, and it's not going anywhere. This includes the mounting points. So now I'm gonna start the truck to make sure it actually starts, because if it doesn't, we might have a few other issues to look at. She's alive! She's alive! Man, so that's a good sound. She's running in the morning, starting up, no problems. Girl, she's done me very well. Even had a shirt made after her. She's my heart. I'll give the other half of the heart thing, but I gotta use one hand to use the camera. Knuckle bump. Now, the question I'm going to get after this is going to be, well, why didn't you check A, B, C, or D, which are other things I didn't list? I mean, as long as you're doing a check in the morning of the things I covered and whatever you want to add to it, I mean, it's good. Do something. Just look at your truck in the morning. That's all I'm asking. It's going to help you out. It's going to help everybody else out. All right, so that's it. You checked your vehicle. You checked up top. You checked down below. You checked under the hood. You make sure if you use an iPad or use some sort of tablet to navigate, and your maps, whatever, you checked all that gear, make sure you still have it. And then now you can go brush your teeth, feed your fat face, or whatever you want to do, to whatever your morning routine is. Now, I can say the only exception that I would make for myself is I would probably have a coffee when I'm doing it, because you're a little more alert and attentive when you got a coffee. At least that's me. Oh, and the last thing I always check is your crapper. If your crapper's not in good shape, you're not in good shape. All right, guys, as always, have fun, be safe, be prepared, and if you see me, say hi.